Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Hope this video finds you doing well. Today we're going to go ahead and pour the little nine-tail fox mold. I've had him sitting here for about a month or two. We're going to go ahead and try it with the foil glitter that I have. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but we'll find out, because we all know that working with foil can be hit or miss, because sometimes it's a pain and sometimes it just comes out perfect, depending on what you're doing with it. I'm gonna pour him in, I don't know, I'm trying to decide what color foil I want to use, but I'm definitely gonna pour him in more of a green with a hint of blue color. But I don't know if I want to use this dark pink. I thought I had more of a muted pink glitter, but apparently I think all I have is rose gold. But let me dig in this box here now that I've decided to be indecisive, if that makes any sense. And we'll see which color I want to actually go with. I do love this box of foil flakes. They're made for nails, but you get so much, and it's so cheap for all of them. And I'm going to say there's, I want to say 20 plus colors in the box. And I think I paid less than $10 for them. So I'll definitely link everything that I use in this video in the description below, in case any of you are interested in getting some of it. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and go with this dark pink. It just seems like the color to go with, I guess. I don't know why I second guess myself right as I start making the video. But now I have these pigment pastes that I got from, I think it's Haksons brand here. And they are very pastel. I have a whole set of them. There's pink, peach, and the pale blue, and the pale yellow, and all the pale pretty colors that you'd want, all the pastel colors that you'd want. They were a little bit pricey, but they'll be linked down below too. But I'm going to go ahead and use the mint green and the sky blue and mix them more green than blue, but to try to accomplish the color that I want. And of course, you know, glitter never sticks to the brush. I don't know why I continuously try that. I know I need the tweezers, but we're gonna give it a workout and see if it'll work any different this time. And I'm sorry I'm off camera. I'm literally trying to see where I'm putting this stuff. My vision has gotten just so horribly bad since I started working with resin. Wear your goggles, you guys, because even if you can't smell the chemicals, they're still there. But I'm going to paint this into the tail tips and a portion of the way down the tail to try to achieve the effect that I want. There we go. Now I remembered you guys were here. I apologize. But yeah, I'm going to get these down in there. I'm going to burnish them down in there because I want them to I want to make sure, A, they're very stuck. This mold is not very, it doesn't really want to hold on to the glitter, so I don't know why I thought I could pick that up off that mat. Waste not, want not. But, I mean, come on. Once it hits the mat, it's kind of done for. But I'm going to get the tips of all these little tails in. Now, if anybody knows the name of this little fox, I do know it starts with a K. That much I do know. But he is a anime character. But I can't pronounce the name. And I can't remember the full name to even try to pronounce it right at this moment. But I did Google it. I did find him. So he is an actual anime character. He is not a Pokemon. Haha. That much I found out. Even though Pokemon does have a little fox with multiple tails, this is not him. A little excessive there on the glitter. Or on the foil. But it's okay. We'll work it out. We'll work it out. But if anybody else can remember his actual name and knows exactly which anime he is from, because I forgot what I Googled and found it. So haven't been able to find it again. And I really don't want to ask my younger gaming friends, you know, hey, what's the name of this fox? Because, you know, I'm older, I'm supposed to know all. But here we have all his little tips painted in. I paused it and finished it, so you guys didn't have to wait through it. Me muttering and sputtering through the video is bad enough without having to sit there and wait 30 minutes while I do that. So we got the resin mixed up, and I've used a 2-to-1 ratio of the colors. I've used 2 parts green to 1 part blue. And we're going to get this mixed in really well. Make sure you mix your pigments in really, really well so you don't have the little striations. I mean, unless that's the effect you're going for, that's not exactly the effect you want to show up. Otherwise, I don't know, it just kind of gives it an odd look unless you're doing something specified to, like, that specific aesthetic with the pigments. I think aesthetic's the word I'm looking for. I don't know, I'm tired. But make sure you mix it really good. And when you're mixing it, just like when you're mixing your resin, scrape the sides and the bottom of your cup, because like with resin, you know, it gets stuck and you'll have an uneven mixed proportion, and there's a good chance the resin won't cure. If you don't scrape the sides and the bottom, there is pigment that will settle or stick to both, and you will end up with a glob that doesn't cure properly in the resin sometimes. Ask me how I know this. Ask me how I know this. Now, I do want it it just became a little too blue, so I took just a drop of the Lake Green candle wax dye, pigment dye, which is, like I said before, alcohol inks, to give it more of the greeny effect, and it turned it the exact color I was after, so at least that piece worked out. But yeah, get it stirred in really good, scrape your sides, scrape your bottom, make sure everything is very well meshed together and combined. It's not oil and water, they do combine. Not oil and water, but pigment and resin. Now, I did not mix enough. I wasn't sure how much this mold took in total, so I only mixed this little 100 was it milliliters, and I actually needed more than that. This actually takes right around 160 milliliters, I believe it was, 150, 160, but between 4 and 4.5 ounces. Mix the 4.5 to be safe. I think it took like just a hair's worth under the 4.5 mark. I'm gonna give all the little tail pieces a squish. Now, as I said, I've never poured this, so I didn't know where the target areas for giving the squishy to was to make sure there was no bubbles. But I did learn. I did learn from this piece. Yes, I did. And of course, you know, these molds are made that sometimes that little crossbar that's used as a stand, so you have something to prop it on. You know, I'm talking about the little X. Sometimes they're in the way of doing the squishy. But we figure it out. And as you can see, like I said, I was just a wee bit shy of filling that mold. Now, in hindsight, after making this one and after making a second one, if you're not going to pour this in 2 layers, I would actually recommend pretty much using a deep pour resin, because I noticed on both pieces, and I'll show you when I demold them, that I had a little bit of flash cure. But here we are, we're back, and it is finished. I did have a little extra because I did mix just a wee bit too much on the second batch. So I just poured it in a little ring holder. Those are always good. I throw them in as extras for my girls who fizz jewelry over on TikTok when they order trays and jewelry boxes. I just throw them in as little extra freebies for them. Because they're great for putting next to a sink for when you're washing your hands and stuff. Because, you know, you always take your rings and stuff off. Gives you somewhere to set them so that you don't have a chance of, like, propping them in the windowsill and having them fall out. You got something a little more secure. So, they're handy little things for extras. I would definitely recommend one of those molds. But, okay, we're going to demold this. This one is my fail. It is my first one. So I'm not going to call it a fail. I'm going to call it lesson learned. Because I did learn a lot from this little piece. In hindsight, foil's not a good idea. So when you flip it back out, right side out, all the little fluffy pieces that you didn't know were there suddenly find a location to stick to. But here I'm showing you there is flash cure about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch of the way up the back of him from flash curing, because being as deep as he is, he did get extra hot, and we know what extra heat on a deeper mold is. So I would recommend deep pour for him. I think it would work really well. I think maybe next time I pour this little guy in the future, I think deep pour will be what I go for, or I will definitely pour him in 2 layers if I'm using 1-to-1. But I would recommend a 2-to-1 resin for him. So I'm going to go ahead and take my dark pink marker and see if we can salvage him, because I'm not happy with the way he came out. He's not my favorite. Love the colors. Not happy with the visual aspect of him. But we'll color in his little ears and see if maybe we can do a little something. I'm sure there's something I'll figure out in the future to do with him to save him. But I doubt it, because, like I said, it's my first time using the mold, so I didn't know where the target area is to give the squishy to get the bubbles out. That's why I call him not a failure, but a lesson learned. I learned a lot from this piece. Like, don't use foil. The color his little ears in, color his little nose in, so I could get more of the definition of, you know, what he looks like. And he does have a little necklace with a little bell on. So I'm just going to run the marker over it. At this point, I don't even care if it comes out looking good, because he's not a keep piece. He was trial and error. I definitely need to get better acrylic markers. These are 3 or 4 years old. I think it's time for some new ones. I would love to get my hands on some Posca pens or something like that, but those will be on a future want list, because right now they're just not feasible price-wise. But one day, I will be a YouTube partner, and this channel will start helping pay for itself. I think that's really all any YouTuber wants, is for especially a YouTuber that does crafting for their content or anything that they have to purchase products for, is one day their YouTube will pay for itself. But we are getting close. I am at 665 subscribers right now, and I thank each and every one of you who've brought that number to that point. I mean, we're not even, I think we're maybe 5 or 6 months into this channel since it was started, and I did have that nearly month off and had to take time off when my son had his brain surgery. So I think we're doing pretty good. I think we're doing pretty good. Hopefully we can get to that 1,000 mark soon. But okay, so there's the lesson learned. He's cute, but he's got flaws. He's flawed. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to pour a second one for you guys. We'll see if we can try something else and get it to work out a little better. So I have these, they're called Macaroon colors from Ceya. They're mica powders, and they come in the most beautiful pastel colors. So I'm going to go ahead and use the mermaid pink and do the tail tips in those. And then we'll pour him again. And now that I know that underneath his neck, under the little bell, is a trap area for a large bubble, I know to squeeze that part. extra good. And get the air pocket out that forms in there when you're pouring the resin in. Now at this point, I gave the 1-to-1 a second chance, and this is why after 2 times I've decided that if I pour him again, he'll either be poured in 2 layers, or I will definitely pour him in a 2-to-1 resin, a deep pour resin, because the flash cure does happen again. Now it's not like severe or major, and I don't think it really does any real headache of damage to the problem. It's just aesthetically pleasing. When you look at it, you're going, huh, and it feels really rough and weird because, you know, all those little horrible heat bubbles that form, just like the large skulls. Yeah, if you don't pour those in 3 parts or use a deep pour, you're going to get that same flash cure around the base of it, and that's what this little guy does. Excuse me. But we're going to paint all the little tail tips with this mermaid pink color. It's a very muted color. I think it's extremely pretty. I absolutely love these Micas from Ceya. Ceya, you need to support my channel. I definitely put you out there. Just kidding. I wouldn't mind a sponsorship for Ceya. I do use enough of their products. Hint, hint. But anyways, let's get back to the video and stop messing around here. I love this little mold. It's absolutely adorable. I think I'll make up a set of these and package them up and ship them to my granddaughter for Christmas. She will adore having little foxes to have little fox tea parties with. Now, I don't want to fully paint the tails all the way down. I really do just kind of want more of an ombre effect if I can achieve it, so that it kind of blends into the base color of what I pour the fox in. I need to get me a baby wipe and realize my package is empty, so please bear with me a moment while I open up another package. And for those of you who are interested, when we've discussed it in the past, I will be starting a Facebook group once I hit the 1,000 subscriber mark. And I do plan on taking at least not always, but on an occasion, I will choose to, with permission, post photos of what some of my Facebook people will be sharing in the group. I'll get their permission to be able to add it on so people can see works from other people who just don't have YouTube channels, don't have time to have one, or it's just not their thing. They just really like crafting with resin. But I think that would be fun to do. But yeah, at 1,000 subscribers, we will start the Facebook group and get things cooking there. Also, with 1,000 subscribers, I have a giveaway planned. So anybody who knows anybody who likes resin art or would be interested in just sitting and listening to me make a total goof of myself, share it out to your friends and family. Let's get there and get things going and start having fun. Well, I mean, we're already having fun, I hope. At least I hope we are. I'm having fun. Are you having fun? I sure hope you are. And for anybody who's curious, my son got the results back from his post-op scan. And he don't have to have another scan until next October. And they said everything looks good. He's no longer on the seizure meds. He's been back to work for a while now. He's not been having any issues. But he's doing really well, and I just want to appreciate everybody who sent prayers or good vibes his way. But I just thought you'd like to know he's doing extremely well. Now I'm going to paint down in the little bell and get a little bit into the tips of the ears with this mica. Now I'm going to very cautiously try not to put my finger in the mica, as I just did, and get him flipped back out without losing any of the work we've done. And as you can see, I just keep touching it. And here we go. I think the flipping it back right side out is probably the worst part of painting mica. Because you gotta be super careful not to touch where you put the mica, otherwise you end up with a big god awful fingerprint in it. There we go. Let me go ahead and, I think I touched it, so let me go ahead and, let me just make sure I got this mica pulled down where I need it. I didn't touch it. No, I just want to make sure the mica's pulled down the way I want it to be. We all know I'm lying. We all saw me do it. Just a tad bit more on the brush. Now I know I promised a silicone mold video after the last one I made, but I'm still working on that. I'm having to seal the blank that I created because I used air dry clay, and I did pour it once, but I didn't seal it well enough, so the little mold had bubbles in it itself. So I'm resealing all the little pieces, and I promise you it is coming soon, and I think you're going to love it. I think it's going to be an absolute adorable Christmas idea. I think the product will make just the cutest Christmas gifts, but I promise you it is coming soon. I'll clean up some of this mess I've made here. I really need to get a new silicone mat. This mat actually belongs to my heating table that I've never used. I just kind of use it to set things on and let them finish naturally curing. I've never plugged it in. God, I'm terrible. But now I did cut this one cutting down into something, so I put a big slice in it. So I definitely need to get, one of those 2 bundles of the big mats, because I need the giant mat for my heating table, because it's like, 2.5, 3 feet in every direction. It's huge. I mean, it has its own table that it sits on. It's so big, it don't fit on my workstation. But I'm going to use the Ceya Pearl White. Not too much. It don't have to be like deep, rich white. It just needs to be white enough to be opaque. But the white came out of the Macaroon colors as well. I mean, they're beautiful, beautiful colors, and the pearlescence to them is just fabulous. I'm going to get it all mixed in, because I don't need any mica flakes floating around to where they decide to go, nope, we're going to stick to the silicone and show ourselves, and then have white freckles on my fox. That wouldn't be cute. And like I said, I mixed about 4.5 ounces of resin here, and it was just exactly what I needed for this little mold. And I remember I did have a little bubble on the tip of the nose of the other one I poured. So I got to squish that little nose. And there was that huge bubble pocket that had formed underneath the bell. And as you could see right there, when I squeezed it, you could see the bubble pop up out of there. hopefully, fingers crossed, I can avoid those bubbles this go round. And I'll give the ears a little squish again. Give his little tail tips a squish. Make sure all the resin gets down to each of the little points, because we don't need air bubbles there either. Get an air bubble in your foxtail, it look like you got in a fight and something bit the tip off. That's not what we're looking for. Give that little bell another squeeze. Make sure no more air forced its way in. And now I'll give my cup a scrape and get him filled up the rest of the way, and we will let him start his little curing process, and then we will definitely be back to demold. The way the resin just sticks in this cup is just so fun. I need to get me I have one somewhere. I have a little tiny mini scraper. My grandmother called them child cheaters. It's a rubber spatula. And I need to find my little tiny one that I can use for my resin, because I don't use it for nothing else. But I'm going to give it a little tap, make sure there's no bubbles. Then I'm going to let him cure up, and we will definitely be back for that part of it. Give it a little spray with the alcohol. That way if any more bubbles pop up, we will know. And we will be right back. And we're here. And he's done. And just look at him through the mold. I think he turned out already 100% better than the first one. But we're going to get him peeled out of here. Trying to talk my son into a deburring tool for my birthday. My birthday is on Friday. I'm going to be the big wretched 5-0. I'm not that stressed about it. I've never been stressed about aging. But he said, Mama, I don't work at a store where I could buy you something cute for your birthday no more. Because last year he got me a bunch of Baby Yoda stuff. And now he's working at Harbor Freight. And, I mean, they don't have Baby Yoda stuff. I wish they did, like Baby Yoda tools. I would be perfectly happy with Baby Yoda tools. But apparently those don't exist. Psh, somebody needs to get on the ball. So I'm trying to talk him into a deburring tool. Much better. 100% better. Oh, the beautiful muted pink on those tail tips. Oh, I am in love with this. Oh, he's so cute. His little bell came out perfect. No bubbles. No bubbles. Only bubbles. Only thing is that little bit of flash cure right there. So yeah, I will definitely be changing the way I pour him or the product I pour him with. But it's okay. It's not massive. Yeah, I really, oh, that pink. It's just a very baby pink. Speaking of baby, I have a grandson who's due in 2 weeks. I'll be a grandma again. This will make number 7. Oh, mercy, mercy. But it is my youngest son's first baby. And he is just over the moon. Now I know that this little kitty has 6 whiskers. Well, kitty, fox, has 6 whiskers and a strange little design on his forehead. And I'm going to try to get it on there. In hindsight, I do need to purchase a much finer chrome pen. One of those ones that has that little very fine like felt tip to it. Because even my finest chrome marker here was still just a wee bit too thick. Or I was just a wee bit too heavy-handed. No, we're going to blame it on the marker. There's no way possible that I could be heavy-handed. We all know it's the latter, but we're going to go with the former because I just got to look good. It's my YouTube channel. Yeah, let's give that a wipe off because, boy, I epically failed on that one. But I'm going to get his little face drawn on. I'll be back with a glamour shot for you guys when he's done. This is something I'm going to have to perfect in the future because, like I said, I do want one with a much finer tip for doing, especially things like little whiskers on these little guys. But I hope this video has found everybody doing well. I hope everyone crafting is coming out with the most amazingly beautiful products. I'm sure you are. I hope those of you who do it for fun are enjoying yourselves. Christmas is coming. We're fixing to kick off a couple of collabs in December. I'm excited for both of those. I'm not going to announce what they are because it's not my place. They're not my collabs. I'm just going to join them. I will wait until the people who are heading up the collabs announce them before I speak upon the substance of them. But yeah, December's going to be good. Thanksgiving's coming. I hope everybody has an amazing Thanksgiving. I'm sure I'll see you before Thanksgiving. I've got another video planned. It's cooking up in my brain right now, I promise. I am going to try to start getting at least 2 videos out a week. I make no promises, but I will try to at least guarantee you 1 a week, as I've been trying to keep up with. But I am going to try to boost it up to 2 a week. I owe you guys that much for being just so gracious of being here all the time and allowing me into your lives for about 30 minutes a week. Have a nice night.